Filming at midnight is always a really fun idea, but tomorrow I'm busy, so I have to do this now. Today I'm going to be doing my second unhaul video. If you don't know what an unhaul is, it's literally the opposite of a haul, where I'm getting rid of books that I either don't like, don't think I'll ever read, got different copies of, etc. Let's get into it. Side note, unfortunately I can't send any of these out to you. I'm sorry. I probably will end up doing a giveaway someday for books that I unhaul, but right now that is not possible. So yeah, end side note annotation. First two are paperback, smallish books, and I'm just giving these away because I got these in regular sized paperback form, so they match my other books a lot better, because I really don't like the look of mass market paperbacks on my shelf because they're so small and awkward and chunky. So I rebought these in a different binding for like $1 each, so I'm just gonna give these to a store, to a person. I really don't know at this point. Two more mass market things I'm giving away. The first one is Wuthering Heights, which I graciously received from someone in a really pretty binding. I just realized I don't have it with me. It's at my aunt's house. So yeah, this is a book I really want to read this summer, but I got it in a different binding, so I don't have a need for this one anymore. The next book I have is Outlander by Diana Gabaldon. Oh, I can never say that right. But my history teacher from sophomore year suggested I read this, and I did, and I liked it, but then I went and bought my own copy of it, and I don't know why, because I'm never going to reread it. I don't think I'll ever read the sequel, and honestly it's just, again, looking chunky and awkward on my shelf, so I am parting with it because I really don't need it. There's going to be a very common trend here of not needing things. I have two John Green books that I'm going to be giving away, selling, I have no idea, and one of them is An Abundance of Catherines, and the other one is Paper Towns. These were the original copies I owned of both of these that I actually went and bought. And then I got a box set of all the hardback versions, so I kept these originally because I was like, the sentimental value, but then I realized I really have no attachment to either of these copies, so might as well clear up some shelf space. These next two are books I haven't read. First one is A Collection of Voices by Stephen Chbosky. Well, it's not by Stephen Chbosky, but this is just a collection of short stories and essays and such that are edited together by Stephen Chbosky, because you can kind of tell it looks like Stephen Chbosky binding. It's a small book with, like, yeah, it looks like Perks Being a Wallflower. I bought this because I was like, wow, Stephen Chbosky, but honestly, I've tried reading this like 4 times, and each time I get stuck on the first chapter, so getting rid of it. The second one is Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. Before you freak out and hate on me for not liking this book, I have not read it yet. I'm only getting rid of it because I bought it in, or rather, I received it as a birthday present in hardback, so now it can match the rest of the series coming out. And yeah, so technically I haven't read this yet, so I don't know if I don't like it, so that made no sense whatsoever. Moving onward. And the rest of these books are things that I read and just didn't like that much to keep them. So the first one is Uglies by Scott Westerfeld. I'm really sad I'm getting rid of this because I love the cover, love the concept, but I just didn't enjoy it that much enough to keep it, enough to buy the sequel. I originally did buy Pretties, which is the next book, but then ended up giving that one away too, because I realized I never really was, like, in love with the series, so I doubt I'll ever finish it. So this is leaving. The next book is also one that's a lot of people's, not favorite, but it's generally enjoyed by a lot of people, and it's Unwind by Neil Shusterman. I liked this, but not so much that I want to keep reading it, that I really care what happens to the characters. I thought it was cool just to read once, just to have experienced the world, but honestly, it's not something I'm really attached to. Next is Crash by Nicole Williams. This is the old self-published cover, so you probably don't recognize it in this binding. This is a trilogy, I believe, and I read this the longest time ago. I don't even really remember what happens other than this one part that's kind of a spoiler, so I can't say it, but wasn't a huge fan of this book. I believe I only gave it 2 stars on Goodreads, and this was like the first book that I actually didn't like. And yeah, I've kept it for so long and I don't know why, so it's leaving. And the last 3 books are part of a series. It is the Matched trilogy. I really don't talk about these as much as I should because I hated these books so much, and I'm really mad that I went and bought them in hardcover new editions because I was like, wow, I want this to be on my shelf, but now every time I see them I'm like, didn't enjoy, why do I have these? Honestly, I just didn't like these because the main character, her name's like Cassia, I don't know how to pronounce it, so I literally call her Casserole. She's so annoying, and these plots are so cliche. In the last book I read for Booktubeathon last year, and it literally put me in such a bad slump that I had to quit the readathon, so I'm still mad about that. Cool, so thank you for watching. I really want to do more of these types of videos because I see my TBR shelves and I'm like, wow. Yeah, at this point, let's have a little tour. All of this is TBR. And I'm using some as a tripod, but you don't really need to see my setup for videoing. So yeah, really should probably do unhauls more regularly just for books that I don't think I'm gonna read or whatever else the reason may be. So, hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you next time. Goodbye, everyone.